Steph Curry may be the best player in the NBA, but he's got some rivals from Davidson College. These dynamic twins are some of the fastest and fiercest on the planet. We're talking all about it on the Delano Little Show.
Aqua Sports presents the Delano Little Show.
Welcome to the Delano Little Show. As promised, two amazing women we're talking to today from Davidson College, and Kelly in the burnt orange, we'll say, and Meghan in the blue. Yes, because you guys are twins. I had to figure that out, but you're amazing women in what you've done so much. Let's start in college. I mean, Davidson College, you were pretty much everything. What did you not do? You did cross country, you were tennis, you become triathletes. It's amazing what you've done. How did you guys get involved in that?
Thank you. Yeah, well, we grew up playing soccer, basketball, gymnastics, and tennis, and just loved sports. And
you grew up where? Where were you?
We grew up in Pittsburgh, and then we moved to Hilton Head actually to train at Vandermeer Tennis Academy in high school, and then decided to pursue tennis. And I was like, I could see myself going to Davidson for the next 4 years, and then Kelly said, me too, and I always thought I would.
She didn't want to go to college.
No.
She wanted to separate.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have been together, twins at birth. I mean,
right.
Twins throughout, probably through high school and everything else. You probably wanted to separate a little bit, right? But you didn't.
I didn't, no. And we were doubles partners, so we just know each other so well.
Right.
And so that was a big advantage to get to play with each other. So.
Okay, so you get to Davidson College, and at that time, well, I guess you still get it now. This is one of the big questions that you get is, do you know Steph Curry?
Yes, yeah. He's a great guy, very humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NBA star, of course, multiple MVPs from Charlotte.
Right.
Charlotte, yes.
Yeah.
So you guys do know him? And
we do.
Yeah, she actually lost her cat card where you definitely need your cat card at Davidson because it's where you get all your food and all the doors and everything. And he found her cat card and searched the whole campus for her.
Are you serious?
He's a really good guy. Yeah.
That is a great story. I remember covering as a little kid. I was covering his dad, Dale, who had just won the Sixth Man Award in the NBA way back a long time ago. And so I was sent to do a story on Dale Curry. Yeah. And I went out there, and there was a little kid that was out there, and he had a little basket, and he was just making these long shots. And I said, who is this? And I said, he said, that's my son, Steph. And I had pictures of Steph making little things, and then I lost it in the archives.
Oh, no.
Could never find it when he became who he became, but he's the whole family is phenomenal.
They are.
And speaking of your family, I mean, you guys have been together, and not only through college, in business as well, and tell us a little bit about the business you guys have put together.
Yeah, well, we started a business. It's a coaching company, so we work with triathletes, runners, lifestyle athletes, really anyone who wants to get to their best self. And we have a lot of athletes who are, going for world championship races, and then some athletes that are just learning how to, go from walking to running. So for us, it's just all about impacting people and helping them to just be the very best that they can be in whatever endeavor they're choosing. So, and that was our whole goal. Just growing up, we just had so many role models from our coaches, and they had such a positive impact on our life. And so we both just sought out, well, we want to have an impact on people, and how can we do that? And we feel like with our business, we're not really working a day in our life because we love what we do every day. So it's been a true gift.
Yeah. What do both of your days consist of? I mean, with all that you do, you're so active. What run me through a day?
Well, she's training right now for Ironman on next week. So
okay.
Yeah.
What kind of Ironman competition is this? Where is it taking place?
It's in Texas. It's the North American Championship. So an Ironman consists of a 2.4 mile swim, and then a 112-mile bike, and then 26.2-mile run. And yeah.
I'm sorry, I just got tired. I just got tired listening to that. That is amazing. And I wanted to get the mindset of how you guys got to that point where you said, I want to do this. How did that come about?
Well, I think after college, I just started running, and I love to run, but then I realized I want to have more of a purpose behind my running. And so then I signed up for marathons, and then I hit my goals in the marathon. I wanted to go sub-3, and then I wanted a new challenge. So I learned how to swim, which I didn't grow up swimming at all. So that was a big challenge. And then I bought a bike and did my first triathlon. And yeah, we started from pretty much nothing and just worked hard and have done more than we ever thought possible.
Yeah. Well, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I guess after college I was bored of, I always had a competitive goal and was training for something. And so a couple of my friends were like, oh, let's go do a triathlon. I didn't know how to swim at that time. Meghan and I literally have never been scuba diving because we failed a swim test. And so that's where our starting point was. But I love the triathlon. I think I finished second or third in that. And then from that point forward, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, I love working hard and pouring myself out, every day in order to achieve something that I didn't think was possible. And then it just was a day-to-day process of, putting hard work. And then I got to the level where I was competing as a professional triathlete for 10 years, and she's currently ranked 1 in the US and 2 in the world. So,
wow.
But it was amazing just how we started from not even being able to swim, and then now we're swimming 2.4 miles in the ocean. So it just is something that we can relate to our athletes in that, okay, it's really difficult. You can set this big audacious goal, but if you put in the work and you put in the effort and you have a team behind you, then truly anything is possible. So, we've been through it, and, we've also had I tore my ACL and meniscus, and from being a football player, how hard that is to recover. And it should have been career ending, but instead it was something where I just learned resiliency for the first time. And it was something where I really had to suffer and restart and learn how to run again, learn how to swim again after 6 months of nothing. And, then from that moment, I ended up being better than I was before.
Wow.
So
yes. You hear that about athletes
Yeah,
sometimes when they
yeah.
have an injury and they come back stronger. Yes.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, it can be a gift.
Well, we're going to talk about the gifts you've been giving to your families and the gifts you're giving to the people that are coming in and taking your course now and going through that, because I think that's more important with what we're talking about. And we're going to let you tell about your business a little bit more, okay? We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Kelly and Meghan, the Fillnows. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Delano Little Show. We are here with 2 exceptional women, Kelly and Meghan Fillnow. And now we say Fillnow, but you Kelly, you guys just got married, basically, right?
I did a few months ago.
Okay, yeah. And so, is it still Fillnow, or how are you gonna do that?
I need to officially change my name. I haven't done that yet.
Well, it's been so long growing up. I mean, coming out, and you guys are twins. What was it like as far as your life growing up in elementary school together? And I mean, you guys are tied at the hip pretty much, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have been since last year. We even lived together.
Get out of here. Yeah. Okay, well,
Crazy.
take me back to elementary school and tell me how you guys progressed.
Yeah, I feel like it was definitely a gift having each other. We were always best friends and everything, but there were a lot of challenges as well. It's just people constantly would compare us and would say, who's the better twin, who's that? And so that was definitely hard for us. But I think ultimately it made us reach our potential. And we always, she, with our sports, she'd be always doing the extra mile. On the tennis court, she would be doing all these suicides and sprints, and then in basketball after
she
practice.
would too.
Yeah, I would follow her.
So there was a one ups person.
Oh yeah, I couldn't get off the tennis court until I won that last point.
It was so annoying. So I'd finally just tank the last shot so we could be done.
Right. Yes. And you continued, and now you go to high school, and what are you doing then?
Well, in high school, we decided to stop all of our other sports and just focus on tennis. So we trained at a tennis academy, and it was also when we really flourished as doubles partners too. So that was our main focus in high school, and it was a good decision.
How good were you guys as tennis partners? I mean, were you Were you blaming each other on the court when
Well,
they were bad shots, or I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think we finished as high. We were 12th in the nation when we graduated, but we ended up losing matches when we would fight. That was all. Whenever we would fight, it would not end well.
One time, our college coach stopped putting us together for a match because
For one match.
she knew we were fighting with each other because you just treat each other differently. I mean, we were immature in college,
Yes.
and with a sister, you treat her differently than you would someone
We
else.
expected perfection from the other one.
Right. So,
And-
what's a fight consist of? You're not talking to each other, or somebody say? Do you actually verbally go after each other?
We would probably just roll our eyes at like, what was that shot?
Yeah, she was just so competitive, and sometimes that drove me crazy because I was like, she just wanted to win so badly, and then I think that just made me annoyed for some reason.
Yes, yes.
But other than that, it was great.
Yeah,
Other than that, it was great.
yeah,
Your college experience, did you guys you live together, correct?
mostly.
We did until,
Was there any,
yeah.
okay, so you go to college together, and you wanted to go more than
I
than
did.
Meghan did, but you went over, so you guys go together. Was there any thought about, let's not room together? We'll go to the same college, but not room together?
Yeah. So freshman year, we actually got placed together. They do at Davidson the Myers-Briggs test and all this, and I think we were requested to be together, and they honored that. But then sophomore year, we were also together, and then junior year, I studied abroad in Australia, and I was supposed to come back and be her roommate, but then her roommate ended up not going abroad, so then
It was forced separation.
Yeah.
It was very difficult because I don't think it was until we were 20 years old where we had ever been apart for more than a day.
Wow, that's
she went to
crazy.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So but you were able to get over that, and
yeah, we're fine.
It was
We were
hard.
fine. No,
and then through all of that, now you got into a point that, hey, we can go separate ways now, and we can do this.
Yeah.
But now you get a business together, right?
Right.
Okay.
So I taught for about 8 years as an elementary school teacher, and then when she went pro as a triathlete, she started her own company, and she kept trying to recruit me, and I always said, no, I'm supposed to be a teacher, like this is what I thought I'd always do, and I love it, but she just kept asking me to join. And then one summer I just started studying and like taking some courses, and I started doing a couple of her clients and everything with her, overseeing it, and I just loved it. And I just realized that what she was doing is very similar to what I love about teaching. It's just your opportunity to impact people, and I love, I'm very structured and organized, and I loved in teaching designing lesson plans, and so in coaching, designing individualized training plans, and
everybody's different. Everybody can't go through the same plans. Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
So just like how I would have to differentiate instruction in the classroom, I have to do that in coaching. And so I just really love that. And eventually I said yes. And so I've been actually working with Kelly for longer than I was teaching.
Been great.
It's been over
a long time.
a decade, which is crazy. We're getting old.
Well, we'll come back after the break here, and we'll talk about your future as far as the business is concerned and where you're kind of headed towards. So stick around, ladies. We'll be right back on the Delano Little Show. Welcome back to the Delano Little Show. We're here with Kelly and Meghan Fillnow. Good to have you guys both here. You talk about all the running that you do now. How do you, because I mentally just could not run when I was an athlete, but I didn't like to do long distances and things. How do you mentally prepare yourself if you're a young kid that's thinking about doing some distance running and things? How do you tell them to get prepared for that?
I think the first thing is just starting with walking, running. So basically walk for a couple minutes, jog for a minute, walk for a couple minutes, jog for a minute. And I think so, and also teaching a young kid proper pacing, because a lot of times they'll just go out full force and then get so exhausted and out of breath. And
Kind of
then
like when you do a race and you got the rabbit, it goes
Right.
out and you
Yes.
yes, I got you, yeah. And what would you say?
I would say progress very slowly. So don't necessarily say, say you want to get into running, say, oh, I'm going to go do a 5K. We'll start with just a couple laps around the track, and then next day do a couple more. So then you develop more confidence in what you can do, instead of having this like super audacious goal like early on when your body and your ligaments and tendons aren't really prepared for that. So if you just pace yourself properly, then every day it's going to get a little bit easier and your body's going to get used to it. And then, oftentimes, like when you develop that self-efficacy from learning something new, then it's like, wow, like I'm actually starting to enjoy this. And it's a gift to start to enjoy it, because then it's something that, you're going to do on a little bit easier, and it's not going to be like dread. But we're really big in our athletes just trying to find ways to enjoy it. So say you're really extroverted, then like find a local running group that you can, go do a 5K with, and then maybe get a beer after, or
you see a lot of those these days.
Yeah,
now.
you do. There's so many in Charlotte. Yeah.
And for the kids, they have good programs like Girls on the Run, Let Me Run, those kind of things that are good, and they teach character development and have a good holistic approach.
And our niece, she the other day ran 3 miles with her mom, and that's just like an amazing feat for a young middle school kid to do. And it's a way for them to develop confidence and then also have time with their parent, which is valuable too. So yeah, we
never
just
thought about that. You can run with your parents or whatever the case may be. Yes.
Right. Yeah. So it's a good bonding experience.
Did you guys grow up that way? Were your parents athletes?
They were athletes, but they didn't run or anything, so we never grew up running.
We played tennis with them though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys just kind of developed it just on your own as far as wanting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, running for our sports, I mean, as you know, as a football player, was all kind of, it was almost like torture, and it was like the sports punishment. And so we grew up kind of with that mentality. And every Wednesday at our tennis academy, we had to run a mile time trial in our tennis shoes. And the coaches would put so much pressure on Meghan and I, because we had a ladder and they would like write your mile times on. So we just like really, worked really hard.
And we ran with the guys. They made us run with the guys.
Yeah, so I think we just had this love-hate relationship.
And you beat the guys up. You probably beat the guys, right? Didn't you? Yeah.
We did, yeah. Yeah, so that kind of got us interested in it, but also this like, ugh, I hate running because it's so hard. And then it wasn't until college when we started running with one of our friends before tennis practice that we're like, whoa, I love running. Like, this is so cathartic. It's helping me with my stress. And then that's when, after that, we actually ran for the college too.
Yeah, so it's also your attitude with something can change, because I think a lot of people have this not a good perspective of running, but I think if you have a friend that you can run with, or just have a change in perspective, you can start to enjoy it, because it's just so good for your soul, and running it outside in the sun, and it's a good quick exercise. Yeah.
Is this something that you feel like you'll do for as long as you possibly can?
I would love to.
I hope so.
Yeah. I would love to be like 85 years old and jogging a little, walking a little.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you guys could be like models for Smiles too. I mean, it's ridiculous, and for goodness sake. We're going to have to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about what the people are that can come to you and how they can get to you as far as being in your organization, okay?
All right.
We'll be right back here on the Delano Little Show. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Delano Little Show with Meghan and Kelly, Fillnow. Ladies, it's been an enjoyable time talking with you. You got such a great program going. People that want to get involved, what would you say to them?
Well, we have an awesome community. We have a few classes every week, and we also customize everyone's training. So whether or not it's an athlete who's in high school trying to, they have the goal to run collegiately, or get faster in lacrosse, or train for a triathlon, or train for trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon, whatever it is, or even weight loss. We have a dietitian on staff, and we just want to meet each athlete where they are and get them to their absolute best self.
Are there any limitations of what people can do? And if people are at home saying, I don't think I can do that, should there be any limitations? Or?
No, because we always start them from where they are and everything. And I think it's just so good to have accountability that just helps you, and just someone that believes in you and encourages you and strategizes.
I even work with, he was injured in the war and doesn't have a leg, and he's an amputee, and it's just amazing just seeing what he can do and the goals that, you know, he's set. He's trying to make the Paralympics.
Wow.
And so, yeah, there's no limit to what, you know, where an athlete is and where we can take them.
I imagine the joy of that too, you know,
Yeah.
coming out of something like that and being able to do
Absolutely.
things makes people happy too, as far as it's healing of the mind as well.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Right.
But how would people get in contact with you?
So probably the best way is our website, and it's our last name, so
FillnowCoaching.com.
Coaching.com.
So how would you spell it? Just,
FILLNOW.
yes, all right. Well, ladies, it has been a pleasure, and I certainly wish you the best of luck and continued success with the business. And like I said, you just got to put those smiles away. You guys, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and continued success, okay?
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Fun.
That's all the time we have for the Delano Little Show. We hope to see you next time.